The Friday that we've been waiting for has finally come, where the South African elected MPs are going to be sworn in today in the House of Assembly. And also, it is supposed to be the very same gathering that again has to elect a president and also the Speaker of Parliament. So we don't know how far things are going to go in that house. We are still watching to see what really is going to be transpiring. Remember, we've been having the issue of the MK party declaring that they are not going to be attending this occasion, and this has been a setback really to the opposition, as they are absence from the House of Assembly is going to be taking away about 58 MPs who would have voted together with the EFF and other parties in against any Speaker of Parliament that might come from the ANC, and as well as probably the president. But it is their democratic right to demonstrate and also not to engage in processes that they think are flawed. But it was unfortunate that they tried to stop this activity by going to the High Court, and the High Court had to rule them out. So what is happening now is that the swearing in is happening, and by the end of the day, we'll be very sure of what has really transpired, what has really happened there, and we'll be still giving you updates as the day progresses. But our main issue is that the idea of the coalition coming out and having a total agreement. We've had Helen speaking from the DA, speaking about the time frame of discussion for the coalition, citing that the time frame is not enough for them to be equally sitting down and talking to the point of coming out with an agreement or with a common ground that could cause them to enter into a proper coalition where all systems are fair and all animals are treated fairly. So yes, she has been giving examples of countries like Germany, where they would take a month or plus to discuss about coalitions or king making. This is what is called the king making process when it comes to the United Kingdom. It's called the king making process, where those that have a smaller percentage will have to be coming in to augment those that are almost winners, and then they will come to a settlement and then they agree. So the excitement is that at least the House of Assembly has come in their own, but the outcomes of it will still be questionable because of the numbers that have attended. We are yet to know later on who has been in, how many numbers have been in, and whether the elections have proceeded, and what will be the outcomes of that election. So very, very exciting. But let's just let's see the report of what is supposed to be transpiring right inside the House of Parliament in South Africa today.
We begin in South Africa. The African National Congress, the ANC, which has been in power since the end of apartheid 30 years ago, lost its majority in a May 29th election and is now negotiating with potential governing partners ranging from Marxists to free marketeers. The ANC says that it favored forming a broad-based government of national unity, but some of the smaller parties have rejected one another, and it is unclear whether any kind of deal will have reached and who will be included. New South African Parliament will reconvene and no government yet.
Are you that worried?
Reeling from its worst electoral performance in 30 years, South Africa's ruling African National Congress said it will seek to stitch together a government of national unity to administer the nation. After days of internal debate within the party, President Cyril Ramaphosa said South Africa was at a moment of fundamental consequence and that the country required extraordinary leadership. In the May 29th polls, the ANC lost its majority in South Africa's parliament for the first time since the end of apartheid.
During the course of the discussions of the NEC, we have looked at various different scenarios for setting up government. As the ANC, with its 40% return of votes, cannot really set up government without cooperating with others.
In effect, that means that the ANC, instead of entering into a direct coalition with its main rival parties, the market friendly and right leaning Democratic Alliance or the far left economic freedom fighters, will seek a broad multi party alliance. And while Ramaphosa framed that decision as one taken in the national interest, analysts said the move also bears the hallmarks of political savvy, with the ANC's own interests front and center. A broad, a multi-party coalition reduces the ANC's dependence on any individual political rival.
We are not going to form part of any government with the Democratic Alliance. We're not going to sit alongside the Democratic Alliance and Freedom Front Plus in government.
Forming exclusive coalition agreements with either the DA, EFF, or the new Umkhonto we Sizwe party, led by former President Jacob Zuma, could have compromised those aims and led to internal ructions. The MK party has openly said it will only work with the ANC if Ramaphosa is removed. A grand coalition, by contrast, would keep South Africa's second largest party, the DA, in the tent, while also engaging smaller parties, eliminating too much dependence on any one coalition partner. As ANC negotiators meet with other political groups, the party has insisted that constitutionalism was a non negotiable principle for any deal.
So there we have it. This is the scenario, this is the situation. Like we are saying, we are still waiting to see what is going to be the final outcome of the sitting of today. And whatever comes out, it will have to be communicated. And then the response of the South African people will be what is more important than anything else. What are they going to agree with in terms of what has come out of the House? Whether the House has managed the argument about the 350 MPs who are supposed to move a motion. Are they enough today in that House so they can be able to move a motion? If not, what could be the stumbling block and what was the solution given for them to be able to proceed with the election of the member of, the Speaker of Parliament as well as the President of the nation? So that remains a serious impasse and also a very, very thorny issue in the politics of South Africa as Jacob Zuma continues to stand his ground with his MK party. So very interesting what we are hearing happening. Family, I have quite a lot of updates to give you, like I said. So I'm going to be just giving you the updates and I move on. And then we are going to enter into deep commentary probably when we cross over to the main channel, Chatufa Television Production. So stay tuned. Don't go away. Subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. We'll meet in the next show.